Hey everyone, what's up? What's up? I hope everything is good with you guys. Yes, as you can see, I'm back with a message from the Lord. I hope everything is going well with you guys and you guys are staying strong. For those who are new, it's good to have you here. And so, the message the Lord gave me was delayed is not denied, okay? There are some of you, you're waiting on those promises, right? Even though you have not seen them happen as yet. There were promises that God has spoken to you for many years. You know, you've gotten these words that certain things were going to happen years ago. Some of you 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, at different times. There were certain promises that God spoke into your life. He used someone to speak into your life. And then there are some that He had given you that you have not seen as yet. But God is saying, just because you don't see it doesn't mean that you have been denied of those things. It doesn't mean that God has changed His mind concerning those things, okay? Concerning giving those things to you. As we know in the Word of God, it says that God is not slack concerning His promises, okay? God is not a man that He should lie. So whatever God has said and spoken over your life, it shall come to pass. Even though it tarries, wait for it, for it shall surely come, okay? So the Lord wanted me to come on to let you know that He is going to show up and show out for you. When it comes to God, He is going to give you those things at the right time, at His appointed time. So don't be weary, okay? Don't get tired of waiting. Yes, we all get to that place where we are, if we're going to be real, we are tired of waiting for certain things. But we know that whatever gift He gives, it is going to be something good and it's going to be given at the right time. If God gives it at the wrong time, you're going to mess up that blessing. You're going to lose the blessing because you were not able to handle that when it came, okay? So you may have felt that God should have given you it long time ago, whatever that is you're believing Him for. And God feels as if that the time you want it is not the right time because He's looking at every detail that is happening in your life. So don't give up on God, okay? Don't be discouraged in your waiting season. Don't be discouraged and don't lose faith, trust, and hope in God because He is not a promise breaker. He keeps His word. He keeps His promise. If He said it, it is done. It will happen, but just at the right time. Okay. Some of you lost your faith that God is going to do what He said He was going to do just because it hasn't happened as yet, just because you haven't received it as yet. And some of you have gotten the confirmations over and over again about these blessings that God has spoken into your life. Over and over again. You had countless confirmations to say, this blessing, this thing that God has been speaking over my life is coming to pass, and God has confirmed it to you many times, but you just have not seen it as yet. And so in this prophetic word, the Lord is saying, just because it hasn't happened yet, it does not mean that you will not receive it. Okay, when those feelings of doubt and uncertainty start to cloud your mind, you declare and decree over your life. You tell the enemy what God has said about your situation, okay? Because what the enemy wants to do is he wants you to get into a state where you stop trusting and believing in God. He wants you to come outside, to go outside the will of God, so that once you're on that wrong path and you're outside of the will of God, He wants you to miss on that specific thing or those specific things that God has promised you. And that's what the enemy does. He wants you to get out of alignment so that you will miss it. You may feel as if, hey, this specific thing was supposed to happen a long time, right? And you haven't seen it. And then because you haven't seen it, you allow discouragement to get in, and then you stop caring. You stop doing the things that you were always doing because you haven't seen certain things happen as yet, because you allowed discouragement and doubt to creep in. And so once the enemy gets you into that place, into that position, then what ends up happening, because you decided to allow those spirits of discouragement, doubt, and uncertainty to creep into your mind, then you start to move differently because you allowed your faith to waver. And because you allowed your faith to waver and you allowed doubt to creep in, then you stop doing the things that you usually would do, okay? You stop positioning yourself for the promise. And so, because of the weariness, because of you're feeling so tired and weary about the whole entire situation, then you start to move yourself away from where you was originally. And so if this is you, God is saying, get back to the place where you have been trusting and believing in him. Get back to the place where you trusted him wholeheartedly and completely. Do not allow the enemy to steal your faith. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So spend your time reading and declaring those things that are in the word of God. The enemy wants you. He wants you to be in a place where your faith is wavering, so that you will not trust God any longer. So the scriptures the Lord gave me for this word is Habakkuk 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And the other verse, Romans chapter 8, verse 28, and it says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. Okay? So, you must know and you must understand that because you are a child of the Most High God, because you are called, because you are chosen by him, he will not disappoint you. He will not disappoint you. So, even though you're in a place where you feel discouraged, get back to where you were with God. Get back to the place where you have been trusting in him. God is not going to lie by giving you a promise, saying that he's going to bless you with certain things and not fulfill what he promised when it came to you. You got to believe and trust that he is going to work out everything for your good. So just know and just understand that everything is going to work out, okay? He's not going to fail you. Do you remember the times when God came through for you? You needed something so bad, and you were having faith that God was going to do it, and he did it for you time and time again. I could remember many different instances in my life where the Lord came through. And so sometimes you have to go back to those places, those experiences where God came through for you in the past, so that in the present, in the now, when it seems like, the blessing isn't coming, your mind, you have something from your life, a piece, a testimony from the past where God came through for you. You can use those testimonies to encourage yourself, not only others, but to encourage yourself, so that you will continue to keep believing and trusting in him when it feels like the promise isn't going to happen at all. So this is all the Lord has given me when it comes to this prophetic word. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And just remember that God is faithful and he is true. Bye.